Hi friends, my name is Al, or Lilstarnerd. Welcome to another 12 Days of Christmas video. I'm filming this intro right after I filmed the intro for the last video, so... Sorry. Today, we are doing the last spread in this sketchbook. Very exciting. I've got an idea that I think I'm really gonna love. I'm really excited about it. I hope I don't screw it up. I hate when the last spread is such a dud, but I'm excited about this one. Obviously this is a different sketchbook than I'm used to using, so we're gonna talk all about my time in this sketchbook, how it went. I've been doing this thing where I keep each sketchbook for 3 months and I kind of have a deadline, so I'll talk about my experience with that. This one was a really weird sketchbook. Like I said, it's a different sketchbook, so I want to talk about all of my thoughts and my experience and what I think I'm gonna do differently, and was a really weird sketchbook, so I have a lot to talk about. This video is gonna give you a lot of context and kind of prep you for the upcoming sketchbook tour, which is I think in 2 or 3 days. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the sketchbook tour. Get excited. I'm excited. Be excited. But yeah, let's not stall anymore. Let's start painting. Let's get into this the final spread. The last spread in the sketchbook. It's time to say goodbye to her. Let's go. Let's go do some art. So obviously this sketchbook is not my regular one. It is the same brand, same paper, all that stuff, but it is hardbound and about an inch bigger in each direction, each dimension, which I didn't think would make much of a difference, but it actually did. Or at least to be fair, it did this time using it. I don't know about all the time, but this time it was too big. Before I get ahead of myself, let me explain the whole 3-month sketchbook thing. This is something that I've been doing for a while now, actually a full year. This is my 4th sketchbook that I've kept for 3 months, which is a full year, which is exciting. I hadn't actually realized that yet, but yeah, a full year of doing this. There's not really a point to me sort of speed running a sketchbook, but I've definitely noticed benefits, I guess. I used to take 7+ months to finish the same book because I would kind of just sit around and wait for inspiration and motivation to strike rather than keeping a regular practice going. Obviously, limiting myself to 3 months, I can do sketchbook tours much more frequently, which is definitely a benefit. And I found for this size sketchbook, or at least not this one, but the one that I normally use at the very least, for me, 3 months is really the perfect time. It's about 20 pages a month, which is really not bad at all. It's not forcing me to do art every day. It's not burning me out or overly demanding or taxing at all, but it is really encouraging me to do art regularly, keep my momentum going and learning to do art without needing inspiration to do it. I wouldn't say it's been a life-changing habit. I haven't had any crazy epiphanies from it. My art practice hasn't been totally flipped because of it, I'd say in general it's a pretty neutral, positive thing, if that makes sense. Definitely worth keeping up, but nothing crazy. So yeah, the sketchbook was technically kept October through December. That was the 3-month period, but I did not actually have 3 months in the sketchbook. I did spend most of October in it, so for that month it was pretty normal. But then at the end of October and then throughout all of November, I hardly touched my sketchbook. I did not have time. I didn't have time for it. I scheduled sketchbook time almost every single day and still did not have time for my sketchbook. I was working pretty much nonstop on all the Christmas videos, my shop update, just constantly filming and editing and reviewing videos and then re-editing over and over and over again. Almost all the art I did was specifically for videos. I had very little time for personal art. If I remember right, I think the only actual sketchbook work I did in November was literally for videos. And then I told myself, that's okay. I'll have all this free time in December to do art. I'll have nothing else to do because all my videos will be done. Well, that was a lie. I definitely did get to take some time off. I recuperated, I got to be lazy for a little bit. So I would say I did achieve my goal of, working really hard so I could take a break in December. I would say that I have had a break. However, I didn't get, a full month completely off like I was, for some reason, envisioning. I had a handful of videos like this one that had to be completed, when it was time to do them. I couldn't pre-record them. And then I didn't finish my prep for December when I had planned to, so I was actually working into like the first week of December instead of being done before Thanksgiving like I had originally planned. And then I still had like other regular work that I had to kind of do anyways. And then also just December went by so fast. It was insane. It went by really fast, so yeah. All that to say, I didn't actually get to dedicate a whole bunch of time to art like I had planned. Especially because when I did have free time and time off that I could have been doing art, there was also like a lot of actual Christmas and family stuff to do that I would prefer to do. So yeah, I found myself not cranking away in my sketchbook like I had thought I would. And that led to something that I'm honestly genuinely shocked about. Something that I have never done in a sketchbook during my time as an artist online. I did not actually finish this sketchbook. And look, I'm being dramatic. I don't think it's actually a big deal. I think I left 3 pages at the back of the sketchbook blank, which honestly, I've probably accidentally done that in sketchbooks before. Like I've skipped pages here and there. Obviously this is different because it was the first time I'm doing it intentionally, but I don't think it's anything more drastic than when I half-ass the end of a sketchbook that I'm sick of being in. You know what I mean? I don't think choosing to skip the last few pages is actually that much different than any other sketchbook I've kept, effort-wise. But this time it was intentional, so it was different. It honestly wasn't a super easy decision to come to leave it unfinished. I tried really hard to finish the sketchbook. I really did. I put in a lot of work, but I was starting to do really shitty work that I didn't want to just do just for the sake of having a complete book. I was busy with family and with last minute videos, and I wasn't enjoying having this harsh deadline that I had to work for. And as I neared that deadline, I was getting more and more stressed and finally realized this is so dumb. It's just a sketchbook. The video won't be ruined if there's a few blank pages. It's not the end of the world. I'm not enjoying working in the sketchbook under these conditions. Stop being dumb. Stop doing this dumb thing. And so I decided that I would do what I could to finish, but I wasn't going to sweat over a few unfinished pages if that's what it came down to. And listen, I said I didn't like the working with the deadline thing, and you're probably like, that doesn't make sense with the whole 3-month sketchbook thing. But this sketchbook wasn't actually 3 months. In total, it must have been about 5 weeks. And 5 weeks is not enough time at all. I would not call the 3 months a deadline. That's just light encouragement. But 5 weeks, 35 days to complete 62 pages, that's an impossible deadline for me. But yeah, I didn't actually finish the sketchbook, which is crazy. I haven't done that since before doing art online, back in high school. I know for some people, all this might sound really silly and overdramatic, but I take my sketchbooks pretty seriously. And not as in, I have a bunch of rules and I'm not allowed to have fun in sketchbooks and I'm super strict about it. Just, I recognize that they have a huge impact on my practice. They play a really significant role in my art and they mean a lot to me. I've been trying really hard in my sketchbook and sought out my own satisfaction in my sketchbooks for so long because in the beginning of my art journey, they were the only places that I did art. Except for some digital work, I didn't do any art outside of my sketchbook. I didn't do finished pieces, I didn't paint on canvas, nothing. So the art in my sketchbook was my art. It wasn't just a sketchbook, it was all of my work. All my skills, my portfolio, everything. And that has influenced and impacted the way I do art and keep sketchbooks today. My sketchbooks have always held a really special place in my heart, and that's only been, rewarded and affirmed by the praise that I've received online for my sketchbooks. I take a lot of pride in them, So yeah, it does sound silly that it was some big decision to leave it unfinished, but it did, mean something to me. It was something that took thought and I had to decide if it was the right decision, but I don't regret it. I think it was the right decision. And obviously, logically, I know it's not a big deal. But anyways, because I spent so little time in the sketchbook, my feelings towards it are very mixed. I'm unsure. Not in a bad way, just, I don't know, I was honestly definitely ready to be done with it. Not because I wasn't enjoying my time in it, just, it felt like a task I needed to complete at this point. It wasn't really a sketchbook, it was just a task. I think I would love to revisit this brand of sketchbook sometime down the line when my plate is way less full, so I can really dedicate the proper time to it, enjoy it, get to know it, because I really think it could be a favorite. At first I really did enjoy the size and it being hardback, but then those last few weeks when I was trying to finish it really fast, it did just feel too big. I was also having this issue with my spreads, and this has been an issue that I've been having for a long time at this point. It's not exclusive to this sketchbook, but it does contribute to my mixed feelings towards it as a final product. But basically, I really want to be able to do cool, cohesive spreads again, stuff that goes across the pages, little doodles all over the spread, really make use of the space. But I keep finding myself just sticking to one page and doing one piece on each page, and oftentimes doing like full or complete pieces on each page instead of using it as a sketchbook. And it's really frustrating. I don't know when or why I started seeing my sketchbooks like that, being unable to more creatively use the space. And before anyone says I'm being hard on myself or that that's not true, because I know someone will say it, it's a real struggle that I've been consistently facing, and it's something I just want to work on. You know, I'm not being hard on myself. It's just something that I've identified that I have truly struggled with, and that's why I'm talking about it. But all that mixed together, plus me being so busy, I low-key forget what's actually in the book, and I really just don't know how to feel about the sketchbook as a whole. Like as an art supply that I could potentially use in the future, and as a finished product of my art. I know there are some pieces in here that I love, but not nearly as many as I would like. I hope in my next sketchbook I have the time to truly be creative and have fun and experiment and find stuff I enjoy. I also want to embrace it as an actual sketchbook and do more sketching and doodling like I used to way back in the day in my first few sketchbooks. Honestly, I do want those sketches to look good. You know, I still am a bit worried about the aesthetics of it, I'm not gonna lie. But I keep catching myself not feeling free in my sketchbooks lately, and I want to make sure I have that space to do ugly and bad and loose and fun and silly art. But anyways, that's a sketchbook. Let's talk a bit about this final spread. I wanted to do something that really represented what I've been enjoying lately, what I've been getting a lot of inspiration from, so I decided to do a boat in the water inspired by some photos that I've taken. I used a couple of different photos for this, all but one were mine. The boat was found online, but I used like my photo for the sky, the water, the plants, like the inspo for the boat, all that stuff. I used gouache, obviously, and this was surprisingly easy and fast and very fun. I don't do a lot of sunset paintings. This was really fun though. I understand why people do so many sunset paintings. The water though, that was hard. I do not understand how to do water at all. But as a finished product, I don't think it looks bad, especially because the water isn't the focal point, so you're not looking at it too close. But as I was painting, I was very worried. But overall, I think this is a really cute and fun last spread, and I had a really great time making it. It is so cold. I think it was like 40 something this morning. I'm freezing. My skin is super dry. It's like raw and red because it's so cold and dry. Yeah, obviously I have finished the spread. It's been a few days. I finished it. I'm really, really happy with it. I love it so much. Not only was the process itself like super easy and super fast, but I really like the results. I like the inspiration. I like the mashup of like pictures that I used. And I think it just turned out really well, and I think it's a great example of like what I'm into as an artist and like in my personal life lately, so that's really cool. And of course it's just great to end a sketchbook on a high note. It's always kind of a bummer when you don't like your last spread, so I'm happy with this. There are definitely some mistakes in places. I really struggled with water. The water is really hard. I dropped a little droplet there. I always do that with gouache pieces. At the last second, I'll drop water on it somewhere and ruin it. I forgot a bunch of stuff that I wanted to do over here. I wanted like some posts in the water. Forgot. I also, the like strings on the boat, I couldn't do thin enough. So they're ugly, but it's fine. But yeah, overall, I'm super pleased with it. I think it's cute. Really, I would love to just do straight up this exact thing again because I had so much fun doing it. And of course, it's just super exciting to be done with another sketchbook. This sketchbook was in a period of my life that was just super busy. Like I just did not have time for sketchbooking. So I didn't get the chance to like emotionally connect with it like I like to do. So it'll be nice to kind of be done with this one, move on to a new one that I can hopefully connect with in that way and just have more fun with it, you know? And of course, now that I've finished the sketchbook tour is coming. Again, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. I'm really excited about it. I feel like I never really know how I feel about my sketchbooks until my sketchbook tour, like the final sketchbook as a product, you know? You know what I'm saying? So I'm really excited for the sketchbook tour. I hope you are too. I hope you enjoyed this video, this painting process. I know I did. It was so easy and fast. If you did enjoy, like, comment, subscribe, the whole shebang. If you're celebrating anything this time of year, comment below like what you're doing to celebrate. I love to hear about that stuff, so let me know. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna go get warm, so go make a fire, drink some tea, and go do some art.